Hello, everybody. Let me fix my mic. Good evening, good afternoon, whichever you choose to use. It's three something on the dot. Welcome to the Quintessential Queens podcast, where queens come to be celebrated, elevated, and sometimes vindicated. We are an iHeart radio station right here on IntellectualRadio.com. Good day, everybody. Good Sunday. It is hot out here today. It's hot in Chicago today. It's hot. It's humid. Whew, it's something else out there today, but we'll cool off right here with me, Miss D, speaking with D. I'm going to talk to you all today. And if you all would love to call in and share your opinions, share your experiences, the number is here. It's 708 223 8953. If you all want to share anything about the topics that I'll be speaking about today, please don't hesitate to call in. I want to hear from you. I want you all to speak back to us as we're speaking to you and bringing you all of this wonderful, wonderful entertainment from Intellectual Radio. I today am piggybacking off of something that Oprah Winfrey said to Melinda Gates. She and Gail were talking to her about themselves and how long they've been friends and how long they've been in the business that they're in, but mostly how long they've been a support for each other. So that's friendship. I'm talking about friendship today. Friendship is support. This is my definition. It's support. It's people who admire you. It's people who mentor you. It's people who celebrate you. It's people who show up for you. And in addition, the hard part about it is like, okay, so your friends tell you the truth. They can be brutally honest or just honest. But the flip side is, how do you accept that honesty? Do you accept what someone you consider your friend is telling you? If they tell you that you're wrong, if they tell you that you need to redirect your behavior or your business or whatever it is you're doing, do you accept that or do you get angry? Do you take that criticism from your friends or do you flip them off like you don't know what you're talking about? You know, me and Kanye, you can't tell me nothing because that's me. You can't tell me nothing. At least how I used to be. I've learned much to be much better than that now with age and wisdom, and I don't know everything. I know y'all think I know everything like I thought I knew everything, but I don't know everything, and nobody does. You can't do it alone. It takes a village, more than just raising a child with a village. It really takes that village to be successful in life. You got to be surrounded by like minded people. You got to be surrounded by people who embrace you and celebrate you, not people who feel like they need some vindication when it comes to you. So, Oprah's point, her comment, I'll paraphrase it. She said, "You cannot be friends with anyone who has the tiniest bit of jealousy for you. You cannot be friends with anyone who has the most minute bit of jealousy for you or they feel jealous about the things you do." Now, I would love to hear what you all think about that. So please call in 708 223 8953. You cannot be friends with anyone who has the least bit of jealousy for you. Is that the truth? Is that possible? Can't you be friends with someone just because they're a little jealous of you? The way I feel about it is, well, let me tell you what Miss O said. She gave an example that when you give an accomplishment or an achievement that you have made, and the friend is like, "Oh, okay, well, oh, you doing that again? Oh, well, yeah, that little thing you doing, that's nice. Well, you better get on over to your lit podcast, D, or you better get on over to your lit class to finish your schooling." That is demeaning. That is undercover put down. That's what I call that. Undercover putting people down when you say go on to your lit show or going back to your lit classroom or going back to your lit job, whatever that is demeaning to me. That's how I feel. It's belittling, and you might be tempted to let that pass. If this is coming from somebody that you feel is your friend, you'll be tempted to, I'm going to let that slide. But I don't know anybody where someone said, Going back to your lit whatever. Oh, you going over there to your lit man house? Nobody feels good about that when you say that. Oh, going back over to your little whatever it is. You know that's something wrong there. That you're not congratulating me. You saying something negative to me about me with that. Oh, good. I got people on the book saying stuff back to me. Wonderful. I want to hear your comments. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So what I was saying is, small undercover put downs. That's what I call those. Undercover put downs. And they're not so undercover. You know when somebody's celebrating you. And you know when somebody really they're not supporting you. They're not for you. They're not interested in your endeavors. They might just be interested in what you're doing just to see, well, what's up? What's she up to now? But for what reason? You want to know what I'm doing so you can compare it to something you're not doing and then give me all this hate? Ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. You don't have to compare anything you're doing to what someone else is doing. What you do should be better for you. That's exactly how things are supposed to be. It's better for you. People are always saying, "Oh, you can't be going around saying that you're better than anybody else or that this is better." And it ain't like that. It's not that kind of better. It's better than I was last year, better than I was last month. And that can be whatever I'm working on. Yearly, I want my annual income to increase, which it ain't doing, by the way. But I'm just letting you know that's a goal of mine. Every year, I want more and better money than I had the year before so that I can live better. I can buy the things for myself that I want, that I can have a better, more reliable vehicle. I could live in a home and maybe not an apartment or maybe get a condo. Better for me, not better than anybody else. Those are the differences that we have to escape ourselves from. And that mindset, we have to get rid of that mindset because it's those things that cause people to give you those little undercover put downs. She thinks she's better than anybody else. She thinks she's smarter than everybody else. Now, I do know that I'm very smart. So I might have a little bit of that. Yeah, I'm smarter than this person over here, but I quickly get corrected when that happens. The minute I open my mouth or even in my mind and I think I'm so much more intelligent than somebody, God shows me, no, you ain't. Something that happened. Oh, you thought you were so smart. No, you're not. You're not. Not as smart as you think you are. Something that I learned about myself. So, what I learned about me is I've always been very intuitive. I've always been very intelligent from a young age. But when I was younger, when I look back now, I didn't know as much as I thought I knew back then. I didn't know as much as I thought I knew, and I wasn't as smart as I thought I was. I thought I was on top of it at like 16, 20. You can't tell me nothing. I'm smart. I'm getting A's. I'm on everybody's honor roll. I got whatever job I want. I'm making money. Couldn't tell me nothing. But it takes my parents, they bring you down quick. You so smart, but you living in here with us. How smart are you then, really? If you that intelligent, you can get on out there and make it on your own. You don't have to be in here stressing us out. Because parents feel like that anyway. But at any rate, I didn't know as much as I thought I did back then. I thought I was really, really, really smart. Yeah, very smart, but I did not know as much as I thought. So I learned better, I do better. That's where the better comes in at. I learn better, I do better. I went to nursing school right out of high school so that I wouldn't have to live like a pauper. I didn't want to live like a pauper. I didn't want to struggle. I did enough of that. I don't see the some people think struggling is so wonderful for your character. For what? I mean, for what? What does that teach you? That it's hard out here? You already know that. I don't have to learn that personally. Like I can watch it on television or something, or I can see it outside. You see it in real life. I made a vow to myself that I'm not going to put myself through any more unnecessary pain, unnecessary angst, unnecessary struggle. So I don't want to do that no more. No more struggling. We have brains, we have sense. We're going to make better decisions so that things aren't so hard for us. And then we always want to do better so we can reach back to the generation behind us, be it your children, your nephews, whomever. We can reach back and help those people out. But the better, doing better for you, no one should be upset that you want to do better for you. No one should be saying that, oh, she thinks she's so much better than everybody because you want to do better for you. That is truly something that if you are an individual who celebrate people, you want to get rid of that characteristic. You don't want to have that. I understand that sometimes you might feel people have gathered something you wanted, right? And so it kind of puts you a little bit, it might put you in that jealousy field. You might feel a little bit jealous, but you're not jealous of that person and their accomplishment. Really, you're disappointed that you haven't made the accomplishment you set forth, right? You're upset because you didn't reach a goal that you set for yourself. But a lot of times we project, we lash out, and if you do stuff like that, I hope you're just as on it to apologize. If you've lashed out at somebody for something because you were upset about yourself, I hope you can apologize for those things. And I'll tell you, that wasn't me either. I meant what I said, and I ain't telling you sorry. Period. That's just the bottom line. I ain't got to. And I wasn't big on forgiveness either. Even though I was raised in church, I wasn't big on that. I wasn't big on forgiving people. You did it and you meant it. That's how I felt. You mean that when you say these awful things to me. You mean that when you behave in such a terrible way towards me. But as you grow as a human being, you realize you make mistakes. I've said some things that I really was sorry for. I've said things to people that I wish I could take back, but you can't, right? You can't take back how your words made them feel, but you can apologize and help them feel a little better. So, all these things tie into this. Can you be friends with someone who has the most minute, itty bitty little bit of jealousy for you? Is that possible? Can you be a true friend to that person if you're the one with the jealousy, or if you're the one that has the jealous friend? Do you still call them your friend? And is it so? Could it be so? So I'll flip back to the if you have this friend with that bit of jealousy for you. So I was just speaking to um, our producer, and he was saying that it's you possibly can. What? Why shouldn't you be? Maybe you can be friends with someone with this little bit of jealousy for you. Maybe. What y'all think? Do you think you can be? I personally don't think you can be. When people are constantly showing you jealousy, putting you down, undercover hating, that minute and minuscule jealousy turns into, it gets bigger. It just grows. It just grows. Then you find yourself being in a space with someone who doesn't support you, but not only do they not support you, they put you down. They degrade you. They defame you. They slander you. And then before you know it, those lit tones of, oh, you doing that lit stuff again, they'll be going around the community talking about you. Oh, she doing that little garbage again. I don't know what's wrong with her. She don't know what she doing. And before you know it, there it is. There it is. Do you want to be friends with somebody like that? I do not. I do not want to be friends with somebody like that. Have I allowed people like that in my life? Sure. Growing up, because you think, okay, they didn't mean that, but I'll let it slide. And then it keeps happening and you keep letting it slide and it keeps happening and it keeps happening until eventually there is a blow up. You do come to blows about certain things. I would say then, if it's somebody you've been friends with a long time, maybe you could talk to them about it, or you really got to do some serious soul searching. Sometimes I'm not big for cutting people out of your life, but sometimes you have to long handle spoon those people. I'm dealing with you with this long handle. Maybe we used to talk all the time. Now we're going to talk very infrequently. And for me, if you don't like me, then it ain't no big deal if you don't talk to me, right? You don't care how I handle you because you don't like me. If we really look into some of these things with more introspection, those people don't like things about themselves. It ain't so much they don't like you. And I'm not talking about the genuine people who might not like you and you don't like them. I'm talking about specifically when there's someone who's always taking the opportunity to defame you or to belittle you. Those people got problems within themselves. They got hurt and angst within themselves and disappointment. It's disappointment. Because I've been a person that, like, I used to feel a little jealous of the young girls who had graduated and they had become nurses, and I was having a hard time in school and taking boards. I had a hard time taking boards. I failed it. I think I failed my boards twice. I failed twice. And the third time I did it and been on a locomotive ever since. So that's another story of, like, sometimes there's failure, but get back up again. You really do need to get back up again. And at that time, I was like, you know what? I'm done with this nursing. It ain't working out for me. And we just talking school. I hadn't even started working yet. It's just school. I'm done with this. It ain't meant for me to do. I've taken the test twice. Do you know how many people were coming to me saying, take it again? Just take it, take the test again. And I'm feeling ashamed because I failed twice. I've taken this test twice. I'm smart, remember? You can't tell me nothing. I should have passed the first time. I did not pass the first time, did not pass the second time. But that third time, I passed it and been moving and locomotion since. I've been moving quickly and steadfastly, successfully ever since because I didn't quit. But again, I was surrounded by people who supported me. I wasn't surrounded by people who belittled me or who defamed my character. I was surrounded by people that can see. Sometimes folks looking on the outside looking in, they can see something you can't. They can see you're going to be a good nurse. You're going to be a great nurse. We need people like you in this field. Do it again. Take it again. Do what you got to do. That's what I did. So I took it again and I did give myself, what is that? I took one of those courses that help you with your classes. I took that course for about a week. And a teacher told me if an opportunity arises where you can take a break, take the break. So back then, I don't know how they're doing it now. The tests were computerized, but halfway through, you could take a break. You could leave, you could go eat for about 30 minutes. I took that break. I went, listen, I went and I laid out on this grass under this tree, looking at the sky, all this nature, which proved to really help me because it was a true break and relaxation. Because that third time I took the exam, I had to take the entire exam. It was about 350 questions, but I passed. I passed and I didn't have to look back because once you're a nurse, you're a nurse. Once you take them boards, you've taken them boards. All they care is that you renew that license every couple of years and you're practicing and working. Never had to look back because I had people around me who supported me and who believed in me even when I didn't believe in me, even when I didn't believe I'd be able to pass. They pushed me towards it. Like you do it anyway. And the lesson I learned really is you just do it anyway. You don't always know the outcome. You don't always know if you're going to be successful, but you do it anyway. You get out there, give it all you got, and when you're successful, you know you made the right moves. If you fail, you reassess. Something we do in nursing all the time. If a goal isn't reached, we reevaluate, we reassess, we reevaluate, we change some stuff. The nursing process is something that I put towards life. You set a goal, you assess it, you eval it, you go for it, then you reevaluate it. Okay, so how could I have done that better? Or what did I omit? Or what could I add? Or how can I bring more people in to help me? Have that mindset. Have that mindset that even if I don't reach the exact goal I wanted, I'm going to keep climbing and I'm going to keep stepping. So climbing to pinnacles and the top of mountains, the top of one mountain is always the base of another. So you just keep setting your goals and you keep climbing, keep climbing, keep climbing. Now, on those climbs, you need some help. Would that help be this person who, when you say, you know, man, I didn't make it. I didn't make it. I tried. I didn't make it. Oh, you weren't going to make it anyway. That's what I was trying to tell you anyway. Is that the person you want? Or do you want somebody in your corner to say, hey, keep trying? Keep trying. Don't give up so quickly. Let's look over what you did and see how we could do it better. Let's look over what you did and see what we can omit. Let's look over what you did and see what we can add, right? That's the person I want in my corner. I don't want anybody in my corner that gets upset every time I have an accomplishment. I don't want anybody in my corner that defames my name to the community. I don't want that person in my corner. You're not my friend. You can't possibly be not doing stuff like that. I want the person that's going to be honest and say, you know what? This is where I see you failed. This is where I see you can do better. I'll accept that. I'll accept it. If you've been behind me, alongside me, and you're saying, no, you're not doing this part right. You got to fix that. I'm going to listen, even though, you might not want to hear it at the time, but I would listen. And for any of you that are on the flip side, if you're the friend that's saying, look, this is where I saw you messing up at, tell them, even though they might not want to hear it, because, we don't want to hear a lot of stuff when it's not agreeable. We don't want to hear what you have to think when you don't agree with what I'm saying. People are like that. But if you're a friend, a true friend, and you support a person, they're going to hear you. They're going to hear you. And you'll know because they come back and tell you, I heard what you said last week. I tried it and it worked out for me. Or I heard what you said last week. I tried it. It didn't really work out for me, but thank you for giving me that criticism. The people who give me that support and advice, peers, but the elders in my family. I truly honor the elders in our family. We are blessed enough to have folks who've lived on this earth. They've raised children, they've raised grandchildren, they've worked, they've been married, they've been divorced. They can tell us exactly, maybe not exactly, but they can definitely give us some advice. And I will tell all of you, listen to your elders. Listen to your elders. They're not trying to steer you wrong. I know they definitely have a knack for sometimes talking to you like you're still a kid. Don't take that too personally. Long as they're not bashing you. But yeah, kind of they're forgetting the age you are. And I have to remind some of our elders, I'm 51 years old. I'm 51. Do you know they don't care? They don't even want to hear. I know how old you are. I don't need you telling me how old you are. They don't want to hear that either. We know how old you are, but we are still so many decades younger than them. So many decades younger than them in benefit and experience, which is why I appreciate our elder aunts, our elder uncles, we appreciate that. I give homage to our elders, and that's something that's missing in our community and in this society. People don't really appreciate the aged. There's like you get a certain age and they want to throw you away. Kind of what they were saying about the president, that he's a certain age and they want to toss him aside. We kind of live in that society that when you get a certain age, people don't want to pay attention to you. But I want us to reverse that. I pay homage to our elders. I'm appreciative of our elders. I'm thankful for our elders. And those elders include my mother and father as well. My mom is always she has a lot of perseverance because she's another one that she'll be telling me stuff and I don't want to hear it. I'm like, I do not want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. But she quickly corrects me to let me know who the child is and who the parent is, who gave birth to who. I remember I was going through something and I told her, I don't care what you think. I don't want to hear it. She said, I am your mother. You are going to hear it because I am your mother. And I immediately just sat my butt down in the chair because she was exactly right. You gonna hear it because I am your mother. All right, mommy. That's easily done, right? Easy. But my mother, she's my mom. She's my support. She's never defamed me to the community. She's never given me any hint of jealousy or any of those things. I do hear about young ladies that they have these complicated relationships with their moms. I'm fortunate enough that I don't have that. She's somebody who supports me. I have had people in my life that I had to cut loose because not only were they showing that hint of jealousy, but that hint of jealousy turns into betrayal. They will betray you one day. That's just my experience. Maybe some of y'all got them friends that they do that and you okay with it and they haven't betrayed you yet. But that's all that is. That jealousy and that not being happy for you when you have great goals and achievements, it's going to turn into betrayal. First of all, if you're defaming my name to the community, you're already betraying me. You should not be putting me down to someone I might need to do business with soon, or to someone that I may need to even work for. But they're going off your opinion because you're supposed to be my good friend. And you're over here telling them all these nasty, terrible things about me, or emphasizing the characteristics that need improvement about me. That's betrayal in my book. You're betraying our friendship. You're betraying me, not somebody I don't want that person around me. And that's me at this age. Me at 51, I don't want people like that around me. Me at 20, still kind of hung up on I want people to like me, and I do want to have these people as my friends, even though they've shown you they don't want to be your friend, even though they've shown you they have no good intention for you. And I will say, don't waste time hanging on to people who have shown you they have no good intentions for you. What do you think you're going to get out of that? What are you going to get out of hanging on to people who want to see you fail? What are you going to get out of people who they want bad things to happen to you, and they will execute those bad things? They can go. We don't need those folks. You definitely don't need those people around you. And that can be like your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your best friend, somebody you grew up with. I've even had people said that they've had those issues with family members. I'm not one to tell you to cut off your family because that's your blood. That's your family. Sangre, as some of my friends say. But that would be up to you. You're the person who knows how bad this individual makes you feel, or you're the person who knows the family member's true intention. Now, in my experience, you can usually talk to your family. You can usually talk to your true friends. If they're doing things that offend you, or doing things that make you feel bad, you can talk to them about it and you can discuss it. And a lot of times with discussion, you find out that wasn't the intention. It wasn't my intention to make you feel bad. It wasn't my intention to make you feel less than, or for me to defame or put you down. Communication goes a long way. Asking a question goes a long way. Being willing to listen goes a long way. And I know the people out there who know me looking at me like, you don't listen to nobody. Yes, I do. I listen. I listen. I might be a little upset when they're talking to me, but I promise you I listen. I've gone back to the elders and told them, I understand exactly what you meant when you told me ABCD. I understand exactly what you meant when you were telling me these things, because they've been there. They done been down that road that you're going on, that you can't see the outcome. And they can tell you what's waiting on you down there. That's why you listen to them. It's kind of like the scary movie where you yelling at the girl, don't go in the house, don't go in the house. But she's going. She want to see what's in there. She want to see where that noise is coming from. It's the same thing. They've been down that road, they know what's in there, and you still continue to march in that direction regardless. Sometimes listen. And the fact of listening to them has saved me a lot of angst, a lot of disappointment, a lot of being behind the eight ball, right? If you listen to your elders with their benefit of experience, you might not have the struggles that you have, and they probably have saved you some struggles that you're not aware of and don't even know about. That's what's the other wonderful part about it. But the elders that I'm speaking of, this is my experience and my family, they are supportive. They are supportive of me. They're supportive of what the younger generations are doing. They are supportive. I don't have that issue of defamation. I've had that issue at work where people try to sabotage what I'm doing. I've had that issue there. So, you have, do you want a friend who has the least bit of jealousy for you? But what do you do if your friend is a coworker, or if it's just a coworker and they're going around slandering your name? They're going around committing libel. These things are legal terms for a reason, because you can sue people for them. But the reason you can sue people for them is the same reason you don't want somebody like that in your corner. You could be going up for a promotion, but the coworker who likes to sabotage you tells the boss, well, nobody really likes her. She doesn't communicate well. she doesn't work that well, and patients were complaining about her. So now that is in your boss's head that maybe I won't give her this promotion. So now you've lost the promotion because of a belittling comment that someone made to them. That's why you can sue people. You can sue folks for that. When they go around, spread nasty rumors, you lose money, lose a promotion because of some conjecture that they said, things that's not true. It's the same way in your life. If you have a friend who you call a friend and is close to you, and they're going around belittling you, people are going to listen to that because it's your friend. If your friend is telling me how awful you are, I'm inclined to believe them. If your relative is telling me how awful you are, I'm inclined to believe them because I believe they know you better than I know you. They've grown up with you. They've known you for many years. When the fact of the matter is, they may not. They may not know me any better. And they also may just be dealing with that old fashioned hate, as what the young folks call it. They just hating. It's just hate. It's hate, but it's not hate for you. I promise you, it's disappointment within themselves that they're dealing with, and they project it onto you. But I try my best not to allow people to do that to me. Don't project your bad feelings and vibes onto me. You can talk to me about certain things, but don't get in the habit of lashing out at me. I'm not good at that one. Don't lash out at me. I can look beyond the behavior only so many times, but eventually I'm gonna lash back. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna lash back. Who was that? We were talking about Michelle Obama. That they go low, you go high. They go low, I'm going to hell. You gonna catch it. You gonna catch it. I'm gonna give it right back to you worse. Because I'm a firm believer you should have left me alone in the first place. I'm laughing because that's a meme I have on my page. If you all follow me on Speaking with D, I have that on my page that I don't bother nobody until they start bothering me, and then I'm gonna take it too far. But I'm a firm believer. You should have left me alone in the first place. You shouldn't have been messing with me to begin with. But even I'm working on that. I don't You don't always have to respond to the negative things people say or do. And I'm finding that that's okay and that it works out. It feels quite well. A lot of us have prowess and ego, right? You don't want people thinking it's okay to talk to you like that. Me, I don't like people talking crazy to me. I don't like it at all. Don't talk crazy to me. We about to fight. But it's really okay to let those words skirt by and go about your business. I'm finding that out. People are proud about all of that. Men, women, oh, you said something negative about me. I need to straighten you out. I don't always got to straighten you out because my reputation will speak for me. My work will speak for me. The good that I do will speak for me. And how I stand and support will speak for me. So these are some of these things, these mechanisms we can use to deal with folks who want to belittle you and defame you, and maybe they got that little bit of jealousy for you or anything you have. So Gail chipped in and said, or if they're jealous of the things you have. You're not happy that I have a home. You're not happy that I was able to buy a new car. You're not happy that I got this new six-figure or whatever figure job. You're not pleased with that. Hmm. Is that somebody you want in your corner? I can see you all are speaking to me, but I can't see the comments. I am going to give you this number again, 708 223 8953. That number again, 708 223 8953. Please call in. Some of you that are watching me now, call in and give me your opinion. 708 223 8953. I want to hear how you feel about those things. So now we've talked about defaming, belittling, and if you have someone like that in your corner, let's flip it over. What if you're the one doing that? What if you're the one that they tell you, I got a promotion. I'm going to be making more money now. I'm going to buy that house that I wanted. And your reaction is, why you need to buy a house and you don't want that job? It's too stressful. You should stay with what you're doing. What if you're that person that's giving those belittling comments or that undercover hate? What if it's you? I implore you, do some introspection and really figure out what's going on with you. What disappointments you have that you feel it necessary to even say those things. I'm saying for you all to definitely do that. Definitely do that. I have a caller on the line. What do I do? Just hit this? Okay. All right, caller. I'm thankful for you calling in to the Quintessential Queens right here on IntellectualRadio.com. Thank you so much. Tell me who you are and where you're calling from.
My name is Wanda B, and I'm calling from Chicago. I love Quintessential Queens and Intellectual Radio.
Wanda B, Wanda B, Wanda B. This is one of our producers, y'all. Wanda, it's so good to hear your voice. I'm so good to hear your voice.
Good to hear your good show. I've been listening, and I want to say that if I have a friend, and I'm putting up air quotes, that is jealous of me, I don't know if I should be considering them friends. All my friends, I congratulate, support. I'm their biggest cheerleaders, and when they win, I win. And all I want to do is see them win, 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 no matter what.
That's right.
They're an extension of me. They're my chosen sisters, and I'm proud of everything they take on. And anyone that's jealous, like you said, they will wind up betraying you, because in the midst of their jealousy, they will try not they have this tendency to one up or want others to think badly of you, or they don't like to hear others praising you, so they try to find some way to defame you. And to me, I don't that energy is so weight bearing. It just bears down. You just don't need it around you. And so I don't like to be the person that say I cut off everybody, but I'm definitely cut off that. Those are not friends. Those just are not friends. And you can have a lot of those people around you, and you will notice it when you are winning, and the comments that are made, or sometimes some of the comments you go, what? Like, what did you say? Or I remember when one of my friends was getting married, and the responses of some of the others, I'm like, oh. So, and I have girls, and what I have always told my girls, I remember my daughter came home once and was telling me how beautiful her friend's hair was, and I said, you make sure you tell her. I said, anytime you meet someone that has something you think is pretty or you like, tell them, let them know. Let them know that I love that. I love that about you. I love that. And so that's what I've always tried to instill in my daughters is sharing how you feel when you have a good feeling about somebody. Let them know.
I agree with you there. I agree with you. Always be that person that gives that compliment. It's okay. It's okay to uplift another person, or a sister, a brother, whomever. It's okay to do that. I agree. I agree with you 100% there.
Yeah, and I always told them that. I was like, make sure you tell her that. Let her know that you thought that was nice, or that tell them. And so, because I noticed with my young girls and watching their friendships, how sometimes that wouldn't happen, and it's interesting to see to watch. And I knew that I wanted my daughters to be well-rounded women, and so supporting their friends and being there for their friends I feel is important, and I'm proud of the relationships they have with the girls in their lives. So and I think sometimes it's envy, and I know envy is another thing you have to work through. And that's a thing you also have to teach people how to deal with, because you'll see people that will have things you wish you had, or you wish you could do. And what do you do with that information? If you do you ask them, how did you do that? Could you help me do it, or do you go find out how you can get it yourself, or do you? But as you compliment them and let them know about that, what can you do for yourself? But sometimes green-eyed envy is just as bad as jealousy. And working through those emotions. Sometimes you got to realize, I don't know if people do, but if you can say to yourself, ooh, why am I feeling that way? And what's making that happen? And What do I need to deal with? Why did that feeling come over me? What do I need to deal with? A lot of times asking myself why when I was younger, why I feel a certain way helps me deal with the feeling, helps me go to and manage why I'm feeling that way, how I can heal that feeling.
Yeah, that's
Hopefully,
introspection. That's what I was saying, exactly what you're saying, that if you feel that envy, I really like what you said though. What do you do with that information that you see somebody has something you want? Somebody has something you want or that you wish you had. What do you do
wish
with
you
that
had.
information? Do you
Yeah.
get upset and start talking about them? You know, people with nice things, oh, I bet you they doing something illegal to get all that stuff. Or do you say, okay, like you said, ask them, how did you do this? Would you be willing to help me, show me, tell me, how did you get that done? Or figuring it out on your own. But that takes a different mindset, and it really takes knowing who you are. I don't even know if people ask themselves, why do I feel this way? Why am I envious?
You know what? A lot of times, if I have any emotion, negative, positive, especially if it's a negative emotion, even if it's anger, I ask myself why, because I don't want to have to feel this way every time. I don't want to feel this way when this comes up. And how do I manage my emotions? And for me, asking myself why, and then going back to the first time I ever felt that way, because then sometimes I can see where the roots of it started, whether it's because my parents praised my siblings all the time. They could do no wrong, or did it start there? And then I got this defense mechanism of, and then how do I heal that within myself? Because we're getting to be at ages where we should be able to manage our emotions and deal with them differently the next time it happens again.
I like
And
that. I like that. I like that
and
very much.
also, if we are role models or mentors, or if we're ever going to be the elders, like you spoke of elders speaking to you, and then I think you got to be mindful. Sometimes all advice and things aren't, they're coming from their own pain and experiences.
That, you know
And
what, that again takes that mindset and being in touch with yourself to even care about someone else's pain. Because a lot of times when people come at us, as young people say, don't come for me. When people come
mhm,
at us, we are being reactive. What you're talking
right.
about, you'd have to be proactive. You'd have to really manage your emotions, like you pointed out, to not be so upset that you can't bring that temperature down. That's what I call it. You bringing the temperature down.
I like that. Bring the temperature down. Yes.
Bring the temperature. Let's cool off a little bit. Let's
And
what
why? And do you always want to go to so heated? Why do you, when people say, "Oh, I'm on 10," do you always want to go to 10 every time something happens, or how
I
do you manage that?
mean, I would, but it's very draining to go on 10 about every little thing. And
Right.
what you said exactly, if you don't really find out why you blowing up like that, you're going to be blowing up at everything all the time. It won't just be
And
that one incident. So it's important to manage your own emotions. And part of that is finding out why. If it's therapy, if it's counseling, if it's a minister, if it's church, if it's meditation, whatever you do to get in tune with yourself is necessary, because that's the only way you can manage your emotions. Otherwise, when I'm going to be honest, like if somebody has peed me off, like I am PISSED, I want to yell at them. I want to let them
right.
have it. But in
And they may even deserve
retrospect,
that.
they, they might they might deserve it. But it always come off 100 times worse than what they really needed. That's the problem.
Right. And sometimes it makes you look just as uh, it will, like when they say when I forgot how the saying goes, but it's kind of like if a fool does something and the way you respond to a fool, you could wind up looking like one too,
Well,
something like that.
I
But
mean, yeah, I guess that could happen, but I never really see it like that I'm looking like a fool too. But
I don't know how the saying goes, but no, I wouldn't feel that way either. But it just sometimes even though they may deserve it and they've pissed you off enough, and they do deserve whatever backlash comes. Sometimes you reap what you sow.
Yes,
So if they sowed it, they're reaping it. They should reap it. They okay to reap it. So it's understandable. But two people yelling at each other, and then people tend to never look at what that person did to you. They just look at how you responded.
that's true. That's very true. I always say that too, that people look at your response, but they don't look that they took you there. What I call,
Exactly.
you light the fuse and get mad at the dynamite. Don't get mad when we blow up. You lit the fuse.
Right.
You did that. But here's the
Right.
thing about reaping what people sow. Am I the one that's supposed to be giving that to them? Am I the one that's supposed to make them reap what they sow? Or am I just blowing up? Am I just blowing off steam? When you blow off steam and you get upset like that, it really is like a release. You feel a little better, like, whoo, I got all that off me. But it's really not fair to be projecting all that fireball bad energy onto other people. And even when
But
folks
you did
deserve
say they
it,
gave it to her first.
that they did, but the mindset got to be different. And this me being different because I'm exactly like what you were saying. I feel like you deserve it and I'm the one that's supposed to give it to you. But I'm wrong sometimes. I'm wrong sometimes. That a lot of times what I noticed that if I did the opposite, the situation turns out differently. And I can attest to that because that's how I'm living now, where there's a
That's
spot
a
where I would
fact.
blow up and I didn't blow
Mhm.
up. The situation
Mhm.
turned out differently. It was calm. We remained friends, we remained relatives. Because, that stuff lingers when you go off on people. They don't want to talk to you for 3 months to a year. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
They forget what they did to make it happen. You only were, and that's the story they tell people. Oh, she went off on me. I just said this.
See,
I said this, and they did never say it the way they said it to you.
that's
It was all
true.
calm, and I just mentioned that she just this. I was just giving some advice. But sometimes it's not always your job. I don't think people realize it's not always their job to give advice, even though
Hmm.
it may be warranted. And sometimes it's your delivery. Sometimes people need to take a moment and say, how could I best say this that that person can receive it in the love that it was intended?
There you go. Now that's the whole key to everything we're talking about here. The intention. Is your
The
intention to
intention.
be giving it with love or is your intention to tear this person down? Is your
Exactly.
intention to prove that I'm right by letting me tear you down? So that's so important, Wanda B. Intention and delivery, how you say what you say. That means so much. How you say what you want a person to know. People are always saying it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not, that's not the truth. It's both. It's what you say and it's how you say it. I can't walk
Exactly.
I can't walk around here saying you a low down dirty bum. Ha ha ha. A joke. Maybe you'll take it
And
as a
say, well,
joke.
I said that out of love. No, no, thank you.
Or I could say it demeaning, you a low down dirty bum. It is what you say and it's how you say
Yes,
it. Your
yes,
delivery and your word. So what Wanda B, I agree. I'm in symbionts with that. Your delivery. If you want people to actually hear you and you are giving them advice out of love, think about your words first and please monitor how you say it. Because it's hard for me to take anything you say if you're yelling at me and screaming at me. It's hard for me to do that. But if you
yes.
come to me and you preface it with, I really am telling you this out of love, and I have nothing but good intentions for you. I am so much more inclined to sit down and to use my ears in the proportion that they're in. You have two ears and one mouth. You should use them in that proportion. If you come to me like that, I am inclined to listen. My mouth is closed and my ears are open. Wanda, thank you for calling. Your
Thank
opinion
you for
is
letting me talk today.
and it's so good to hear you talk today, by the way. So good to hear
I
you.
love your show. Was listening. I was like, oh, this is a good topic. I was like, okay, I don't call in often. I'm gonna call in.
Well,
Yay! Thank you for
please
having me.
do. Please do. And thank you. Thank you so much, Wanda B.
Thank you, guys. Continue to listen to Quintessential Queens on Sundays at 3 p.m.
Yes, did y'all hear that? Keep listening and tuning in to Quintessential Queens on Sundays at 3 p.m. right here on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart radio station. I want to thank you all who are putting your comments in my chat. I want to thank you all for tuning in and watching us. And I want to thank Wanda B., one of our producers, Earl Renfrey, another producer, and Rhea Ray Harris, who also hosts this show, The Quintessential Queens. I thank the three of you for giving me the opportunity to sit here. So remember, people, Quintessential Queens.
I see you, baby.
Right here on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart radio station. Sundays at 3 p.m. I hope to see all of you and more again soon. Thank you.
One time for the babies on the south side.